Hi there, we're back at Crunch Gym and we're filming another bikini workout. Today we've got two of the UK's best bikini girls that have recently been competing. We're going to do two levels of training. We've got like an intermediate or beginner's sort of way of training with weights for the bikini girls and also more advanced way of doing it. Okay, so for today's workout, we've got all levels of people now competing in the bikini circuit. Probably the most upcoming fitness scene we've got today. So out of the two girls, who wants to go first and do the sort of more intermediate session?
I'll be doing it.
So Zania will do the intermediate stuff, and Georgia, that means you have to do the hard work.
Standard.
Okay, so first off, we're going to do a lateral raise. So we're going to use this machine. If you haven't got one of these in your gym, you can do this with dumbbells. So jump on, Zane. Now we're going to do 1 1/4 reps. So that's all the way up, down quarter of the rep, and back up, then all the way down. So that's 2 bites, 2 contractions on the side head of your shoulder. Okay. So keep it controlled all the way up to the top, down quarter of the way, to there, back up, and then slowly all the way down. Just before the elbows touch the sides or the weight pin and weight stack touches, you want to come back up. So,
Neil, just for people watching at home, what's the point in adding the extra half a contraction? Why can't they just go straight up and down?
I mean, obviously you can do a standard set where you're going straight up and down, but I would imagine most people at home that do train have done that type of training. So I'm trying to give people a bit more of an advancement in their own training without taking it too far as we will in your set. But by having 2 peak points at the top, that's where the static contraction hits the side head of a delt, and you're going to get twice the effort, twice the workload, and twice the time under tension as you would with 1 standard rep. So for bikini girls, it's great because they don't want to add too much weight as you would with a standard set. What you want to do is you want to burn the muscle, build and tone the muscle without adding a lot of size to it. So it's all about shape and tone. So without adding too much weight as we would as bodybuilders, we're looking at overloading the set. So the first exercise we're going to do is a lateral raise. Fortunate enough to have a machine here, so it really isolates the shoulder. And what we're going to do is keep constant tension on the shoulder by doing a 1/4 rep. Partials and 1/4 reps are great at isolating, contracting the hard part and the muscle contraction of that shoulder exercise. So we're looking at time under tension today on a lateral raise, and that will give a nice shoulder cap and that sweep you see on the side of people's delts. Take that set further, take that more advanced. We're going to do a set with Georgia. It's like a 50 rep set, but it's done in stages. So the first 10 are straight standard reps, like you would normally do. So all the way up, all the way down. Then the peak point, which is hardest, we're going to do 10 little movements at the top to keep it right on the side of the shoulder. Then bring down for the middle range of the movement for 10. And then finally, the bottom range of the movement for 10 reps. That creates a lot of lactic acid and burning the muscle. But to finish it off, we're going to do another 10 full reps, as you did when you started, to really isolate the shoulder heads. And this will give you a great cap to your shoulder. Okay,
ready?
Yeah, fire away.
Can't wait for the burn.
That's it, it's all the way up and all the way down. Good.
I really enjoyed it. I've really felt it on calf of my shoulder, the side lateral raise on a machine. I like doing that exercise because it put me in a really strict form, and I can really focus just working the shoulder. What would you say is the key kind of things, points on the form on this exercise?
So when you use a machine, it's good, it's great because it allows a lot of tension on the muscle at all times because the machine puts it there. As with a dumbbell, there's gravity points where it becomes easier or harder. But you can make it easier on yourself by allowing the weight stack to touch. So that's obviously what we don't want to do. So you want to stop the weight stack just before it touches on the full reps. And you want to keep the delt isolated so that all the power and all the pressure you're creating isn't with your forearms, isn't with your hands, it's on the side of your shoulder. So with this, it's really important that you breathe. A lot of people at home will be trying really hard if they duplicate this and they won't be breathing. So keep breathing or you'll pass out. So that's halfway through.
More than half. Neil can't count.
Good, so these are the last 10. So now you'll be feeling it really burning. These are the ones that it's really worth doing. on,
Get a little sweat on.
Good.
Hi, my name's Georgia Simmons. I come from Essex and I've been training weights for a year and a half. Currently one of the leading bikini competitors in the UK. Recently placed 12th in the world as well in my height category.
Yeah. So you felt them last ones, yeah? Okay, how did that feel, Georgia?
I mean, that's a really good exercise. You can really start to feel it as you get to sort of about the 30th rep. When Neil and I do this sometimes, Neil gets such a pump on he can't get out of the machine, so you've been warned at home, if you're massive, you might get stuck.
So a quick tip for this exercise is to control the contraction point at the top of the exercise and fight the negative part of the movement. Count 4 seconds on the way down, do not let the weight drop. Okay, after the first exercise, we've warmed up and isolated the side head of the shoulder. We're now going to move on to a compound exercise. Now we're going to do a shoulder press next, and it's really important that we do these standing with a free weight because we're going to look at really concentrating on contracting and holding the core as you do the exercise. So we are training our shoulders, but at the same time we're keeping that tummy flat and making sure that all our abdominal muscles are contracted in. So to start off with, Zane's going to do a straight set of 12 reps, and we're just going to press in line with our nose up and just short of a full extension so we don't lock the elbows. Okay, so if you start off, Zane, pick the bar up, make sure you keep a flat back when you pick it up. So high elbows to put it up to you towards your shoulders, and then you're going to press it up above your head. Good. So you make sure that your knees are slightly bent on this, so you take the stress off your spine. You're also making sure that your stomach in this area here is contracted in and up, and that you have full control of your body from the midpoint of your structure. So from your core is supporting you through this exercise, and you're pressing up, not quite locking the elbows to create any problems on the joint.
So what weights are they using there?
What weight? So this is only a 10 kilo barbell, but it's not about the weight, it's about contracting the muscle. When you come to the top, stopping just short of locking and squeezing your shoulders, so having a connection with the muscle.
The second exercise we did was shoulder press with a barbell. Again, that was to focus on the form, so keeping your core tight, glutes engaged, and so really squeezing right at the top and controlling on the way down. So again, just focusing on the shoulder.
And why is it better if she does this standing up as opposed to sitting down?
The reason we're standing up is you burn more calories standing up because your whole body comes into play and your core's controlling the movement. So your stomach and your core and that contraction is stopping you from moving forward or backwards or sticking your bum out or leaning forward too much. And that'll make the exercise far more effective as a whole body movement.
And can you only do it with a barbell, or could you do this with dumbbells?
You can do it with dumbbells. You can do this with dumbbells. The only difference is with dumbbells actually is a little bit more advanced. It's harder because you've got 2 free weights and they're both moving around. So I'd start with a barbell, get your strength up with that, and then move on to dumbbells. We're actually going to go on an advanced movement with this because we're doing a bikini workout, and because bikini is all about the butte and the legs, we're going to bring in some squats as well as the shoulder press. So Georgia's going to unfortunately have the hard job again, and she's going to be doing a squat, a standing squat press, which are very hard to do because your core is really overtaxed in this. But if you've been practicing these, they are a good progression. Yeah?
I think it's probably worth saying as well, if you have got a bad back or you are a beginner, please don't try this because you're probably going to really hurt yourself.
Yeah, it is a hard exercise. Okay, so straight away you're holding the bar over your head and your elbows are straightened out but they're not locked on the joint. And you're going to do what would be like a squat and then the same press as Zane done. So all the way down to a squat and a press. So that makes the exercise really hard because your core's totally engaged to stopping you falling forward or backwards. Obviously it's working your thighs, your hamstrings and your glutes as well at the bottom position, and it will work your cardiovascular system as well. So it's an all-round exercise, a great thing to do, but you may have to progression up to this using a really light weight.
Well, the lateral raise is something I do quite frequently. I do really enjoy pyramiding sets. The workout that Neale has me do is quite painful. You do start to get a pump, particularly as lactic acid starts to build up in the muscle because it's a high repetition range. So it does start to get a burn, it does start to get a pump, so it's quite painful. But I actually quite enjoy that burn because it means I'm growing.
It must be hard because I was only doing the press and just holding my core already was quite out of breath. So that is probably a good exercise to use just to bring your heart rate up and burn more calories, definitely.
Yeah, and your bikini girls, they want to tone the muscle. They don't want to train with heavy weights. They don't want to get bulky, but they want to get great shape and tone. And the best way of doing that is burning fat while lifting, weights around. So that way there, you're kind of slightly out of breath, you can feel your heart rate, and you can feel your muscles have been trained.
Yeah, basically it's a really good sort of addition to a plyometric activity. If you want to do plyometrics, which is basically a bit of sort of speed, raising your heart rate, so it's kind of a way of using weights as your cardio exercise as opposed to just doing your standard sort of cross trainer or bike. And you can see I'm sort of panting a bit, so it's worked for me.
Okay, so second set, shoulders should be pretty warm now. So remember, think about squeezing that shoulder at the top, keeping the stomach nice and tight throughout.
What I hope to accomplish every time I come to the gym is just to absolutely smash my workout, smash my body, and hit all of the targets and beat all my personal bests. So I just I try to aim to build muscle, work on tone, work on developing my weaker areas. So whatever's my weak point, I always try and hit that. I just want to smash it every time I get here.
Well done.
Oh, did feel that one.
So that's got you out of breath even just doing the standing press.
Yeah.
And that's because you're structuring
Thank you.
so much into your core. So I see you've got a drink there. What's it you're drinking there, Zana?
That's LA Muscle Whey, strawberry flavour. I do use whey around my workouts or definitely after workout, just to help with the recovery. So that's a great product.
Girls, you girls use supplements?
Yes, we do. We do use definitely whey.
But doesn't whey make you massive in terms?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. So there's another thing about lifting weights as well. Women especially are scared of lifting heavy weights or drinking a protein shake. And a whey protein like LA Whey is not going to turn you into a massive mountain overnight, but it's going to help with lean muscle tone no matter what your goals are.
Yeah, I think with something like that, which is a really low carb blend, it's actually something you can drink all year round, even when you are on a cutting diet. I mean, it's something that I used all the way through my prep. Because it's really low carb, it's not going to make you bulk, you're not going to gain size. It's just going to help you to repair the muscle, add additional calories in the form of protein. It's brilliant.
A quick tip to this exercise is to contract your shoulder tight at the top of the press. Don't lock the elbows, but squeeze the shoulders as high as you can without contracting the elbow.
Puts a lot of pressure on your anterior delt.
This time last year I was doing a lot of shoulder work and I actually built up quite overly defined rear deltoids.